All right, how we doing? I'm back here in our prop closet today, and I'm going to talk to you guys about the lesson. So I hope everyone's going well. Um, we have had 2 weeks of school now, and so we're really trying to get into the swing of things. I appreciate those of you who are doing your dailies. Remember your daily bell ringer. That's your attendance. Now there are other things that you're getting for a daily grade, like filling out your notes and turning those in. Also, quizzes, tests, things like that. That'll try to be something simple and quick, and sometimes it'll be like a presentation, which we're going to talk about in just a minute to make sure from the last lesson that you turn those in. Okay. So, what do you think about when acting in front of an audience, and explain why you feel that way? So, you guys have written out your answers. The idea here is to try to identify sort of what are your excitements about it, but also what are your hangups, what are you worried about, and that way we can sort of handle those things and say, okay, this one, maybe it's a legitimate fear that you have, but maybe it's not a legitimate fear. Maybe we can talk through that, and maybe sometimes your excitement needs to be sort of like, don't be so excited, because that could also get your audition. It could ruin it. You could go too fast. You could be too much, and that could also hurt you. And so, trying to figure out what you feel about these things. There we go. So let's talk about what stage fright is, okay? Stage fright is when we feel nervous before a performance. It can be an audition, it can be when you're in a show. We have this idea of stage fright. So I ask, have you ever experienced stage fright? Has there been a time when you were in front of people and that fear kicks in? And let's talk about what that is. So your body has a fight or flight sensor. And basically, this chemical called dopamine in your brain releases at times when it's like thrilling stuff. And normally, thrilling stuff is stuff that either you get really excited and happy about, or it's times that you get really scared and nervous about. Well, when that releases, it sort of talks to your nerves and the rest of your body about how you should react in a situation that's similar to that one. So, a lot of people who have stage fright, they have earlier memories of being embarrassed in front of groups of people. And because they do, their brain has registered that when they get in front of a group of people and that dopamine releases, that they should be fearful again. And so you give in to that, and typically you walk away not feeling great. Whenever that thrilling, am I going to do it? And you come away, and then you just sort of like feel bad about not doing it. On the flip side, when you push past that fear and you actually go full into the experience you're going for, your dopamine then sort of gives you what we say is like a natural high, right? And so your chemicals go up and you feel really good and proud of what you've accomplished. For me, it was roller coasters. Scared to death of roller coasters. Hated roller coasters. As a child, had some bad memories of being on roller coasters, and I married someone who loves roller coasters. So that being said, we ride roller coasters now, and I learned to enjoy roller coasters as well. And after I started riding them, like that fear that had been there just started going away. And it's all a brain thing. It's all a chemical in your head thing telling you that. So let's talk about how you could overcome it. So overcoming stage fright, what can you do? Well, you can push past it. You can push past it. It's just chemicals in your brain telling you something that don't have to be true. And so you can decide to push past stage fright and try things. Now, this year, some of you aren't going to have to worry about stage fright because you're not going to be around other people. And so when you perform, you're performing on video, things like that. But you should try to come up with a plan of how can I take that next step to get past this thing that's scaring me? And are you ready? If you had to perform today, who would be ready to perform? That's a hard one, right? All right, so we're going to keep going. If you look here, this is the Theater Roles Review. I don't know if I mentioned it, but we are having a pop quiz we're going to have at the end of class today. You need to just familiarize yourself with this. We're on the honor system, so when you take the test, just try your hardest, turn it in. Do not come back here and look at this during the test, okay? We don't want to cheat. We want to do well. But this will be a test grade that you'll get today. So at the end of class, last time we talked about becoming a professional theater actor and the research assignment. You're actually going to take time and do that today. I want you to video yourself and then upload it of you doing a presentation about a theater research assignment based on that handout that we had last week. And it's still in your notes today. And so you'll choose one category and you will give a visual element to it, so you can have pictures, you can make Google Slides. I'm using Screencastify, and if you make your video, it's only 2 minutes, so Screencastify lets you film stuff 5 minutes for free. And you can have you in the corner, your slides right there, and you can record that way. However you want to record it, this is a test grade that you need to turn in, okay? Let's talk about what we can do today. So I can participate in group work. Now, for you all at home, you're participating in solo work on this research assignment. I can follow directions on a handout. The handout is in your interactive notebook. I can create and find visual elements for my presentation, and I can share my presentation for 2 minutes, okay? A minute and 30 seconds is not 2 minutes, okay? A minute and 52 seconds, yeah, I'd probably count it. But make sure you're hitting the 2 minutes. So your parameters, step 1 in class are getting in groups. You're not. Step 2, make sure you read that assignment and your rubric. Step 3, I'm going to fix my typo. There we go. It says use your own technology or an iPad to do the research. Step 4, plan your presentation. Step 5, create your visual element. You're going to have 15, 20 minutes. This is an exam grade. So you need to get that in. Make sure we get that in this week, okay? So we can get the grades in, okay? And then we're going to do presentations. So you're uploading yours down below. All right, so the presentations are done. If you need to press pause and finish it, you can. We're going to keep going. So now we're going to talk about stage movement, okay? Move business. Get out the way. Get out the way. What? Get out the way. So we're going to talk about what it's called when we have business and when we have movement on stage. There we go. We've done the stand-up game if, and I'm going to post one more. And for y'all, you do thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs right. But this is just, once again, getting to know each other, have a little movement. So I want you to do this, okay? I want you to go and I want you to see within your friends or family if you can get them to do just a little acting scene. And so you need to go and you need to have someone say, hey, I need you to act. And if you can get 2 or 3 people. And first, just have them sit down in front of you and act like they're an audience. At a theater show, at a movie, at a concert, just give them a theme, act like it, and watch them for 2 minutes, okay? When the 2 minutes is up, I want you to ask them to count something in the room, okay? It can be count the number of squares if you're in a kitchen and you have tile. It can be count the number of light fixtures. It can be count the number of windows. But something in your house, you're going to tell them to count, and you're going to watch what they do when you count. So go ahead and have them do that now. So here's what I'm hoping that you do. Now, in your notebook, I have observations. I want you to observe the difference that the way people appeared when they were just watching as an audience versus when they are counting, okay? Because there's a difference that happens, and we see that when people are more active, that it's more engaging for you to watch them, right? Because theater is active. It's an active thing, and we want to participate in the action both as the people on stage, but also the people in the audience. But theater is not just stand there and say lines or just sit and say lines or doing a bare minimum. Theater is active, and it's in the details that we find interest in what theater can be. So down below, I have this video posted. You need to go watch it. You need to fill out the questions in the book based on this video. You can pause and do that now if you'd like. So let's talk about stage positions, okay? So you need to copy this chart down in your notebook under stage directions. And we're going to talk about where things go. So in a stage, you basically have a quadrant. And of the quadrant, you have 9 areas that are pretty our basic areas for the stage, okay? And the audience is sort of down in this area. Now, as you look here, this is where things go. So right in the middle is center stage. Now, if you were standing on center stage and focusing down towards the audience, okay? And the audience, again, is in front of the downstage area. Stage left is to the actor's left. Stage directions always follow the actors, not the audience, okay? Stage right is the actor's right. And then you have upstage and downstage. Upstage is the farthest place away from the audience, and downstage is closest. Now, there's many different reasons for that, but there's a time in theater history where they had raked stages. And so basically the stage was like this for the audience. And the audience sat flat. Now we have raked stages, like in our auditoriums and things. We have the seating going on a rake, and the stage is flat. but that way you can make sure that people see things. So back then they raked the stage. So you literally would have to go up to go upstage, and literally you would be coming down when you went towards the audience. So make sure you have all of this written down in your notebook. So let's talk about warm-ups, okay? So if we're talking about stage movement, we're talking about being ready to be on stage. It doesn't just happen that we're going to just know where to stand, where to go, how to do things on stage. And so we need to practice warm-ups, okay? Warm-ups are things that we do to get our bodies ready to perform. So there are 3 areas that we focus on warming up anytime that we do it, that we perform. And for us, anytime we rehearse, we do warm-ups in Viking Theater. We have a set of warm-ups that we do before each show. And now they'll change slightly from show to show, but we do them the same because we believe that to prepare for the role, we need to do this together as a group. And then we have time for you to prepare individually if there's anything you need to do. So on warm-ups in your book, I have 5 warm-ups, okay? And I've written them down here. You're going to take notes on what those 5 are. So the first one is breathing warm-ups, okay? You're thinking breathing, yes, controlling your breath. We talked about stage fright at the beginning. And when you're talking about stage fright, the way to overcome stage fright is by controlling the breathing that happens. So when you breathe in, you breathe out, you're slowing your heart rate, you're slowing that rush of dopamine that's happening. And you have to remember, there are a million things you can't control. You can control your breath. And so that's where we start. So for breathing, we go breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this is controlled breathing. It's not just, right? It's and again, you didn't see my chest rise really big, right? Because I'm breathing out of my stomach. I'm making my stomach enlarge because this is the area that we project from. This is the area we fill with air, and we have these calming breaths. So we'll do, 2 or 3. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we start with our breathing, and all through our warm-ups, we come back to breathing. The second thing that we start focus on is stretching, okay? So and you can write this down, stretching. And I want you to stand up and do some of these, okay? So don't just be sitting now. We're going to start adding some warm-ups every class that we do to try to get us moving a little bit. So when we stretch, 1, we can stretch our arm. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Other arm. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We can stretch above our head. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Other side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to touch our toes, okay? So go down, touch your toes. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now you're going to roll up. You're going to roll up. I'm going to count to 8, and you go slowly. And the last thing that comes up is your head. So 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Put your chin on your chest and go to your right ear. Now don't pull your shoulder up, right? It's about pulling your ear down. You should feel the stretch in here. And we go down, and we go over. Down, back up. Now we're going to roll. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Roll forward. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go back. 2, 3, 4. Go forward. 2, 3, and 4. And we may add different stretches. There's isolations where you think about I'm going to stretch my arm. Okay, I'm stretching my arm. Now I'm going to think about stretching out through my hand, and I'm going to think about just my thumb. I'm going to rotate my thumb, and then just my pointer finger. And so stretch that way. You think the same way through your legs. How can I stretch and try to get the tension out of my body? Because if there's tension in my body, I can't become a character. So I have to get all of this tension out so I can become something to perform on stage. Okay? All right. The next one is focus. You're going to need a partner, okay? But I want you to imagine there's an imaginary ball, okay? See, there's an imaginary ball. Throw it up, and I catch it, okay? So I have this ball, and we're going to focus on who we pass to. Now in class, we have a lot of people. You need to get 3 or 4 people if you can at home, and just throw the ball, and then follow the ball where it goes. So you throw it to somebody, they throw it to someone, you watch, and if they throw it back to you, and you catch it with however force they give it to you, okay? So if they throw it hard, but if they just throw it soft, then the ball just sort of floats, right? And if they drop it, you have to pick it up off the floor. The idea here is we're so focused on this imaginary ball, we're thinking about the energy that we're giving and receiving, and how are the different ways that we can give and receive it, because on stage, that's what it is. We are giving and receiving energy. So we give it slow, we take it slow, we give it fast, take it fast, and we can give it fast, I can give it back slow, and that changes us, right? And so we're giving focus in this, but we're doing it in a physical way, okay? The fourth one is physical characterization. So typically in a show, we'll let each person do like something that they do on stage, and we all copy it. But for now, like if I said, well, being an older person, what happens physically? You know, a lot of times we'll hunch over, or maybe we'll blink a little more. And, you know, maybe it's, our mouth's a little drier, and right. But think about what you would do if you were being an older person. Right now, I'm going to name a few. I want you to just try them. Okay, so little girl eating an ice cream cone while skipping. So try it. All right. Superhero. What happens? What do you do physically? Right. If I'm skipping, I'm a little girl. I have an ice cream cone. Right. But to superhero, now I'm bigger and I'm stronger. Think about what's happening in your body and physically try to become these different physical characterizations as we call them out. Fisherman. Lion trainer. Receptionist at a dentist office. Physically become these things and watch how it changes your body. That tells you what you perceive and think about these things. The last thing we do is called shake it off. To shake it off, we start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we go to this hand, and then we go this foot, and then we go 7, right? So we're going to go hand 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then this hand 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right foot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Left foot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Foot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. And we warm up everything. We just shake it out, right? And then we breathe. But we're trying to get out nervous energy. We're trying to get some focus going, and we're trying to control the things that we can control to be ready to become whatever we need to become. That's warm-ups. We just did the physical warm-ups on here. So right now you have a theater role quiz, okay? So I want you to go ahead and finish your quiz. It looks like this, okay? After you're done with your quiz, there's one more thing. I just want you to watch Theater and Stage Directions, the other video that I posted below, and that will be all for today. Thank you guys very much for all your work. Keep going. I'm trying to interact with you when I can. Remember, if you ever need to talk or chat, Google Meet, Tuesdays and Fridays, 10:15. Jump on there. I'm on. And if you're planning to be on, just shoot me a message on Remind. Also, make sure you get your class fee in, okay? You can mail that. I gave you the instructions on that. Please get that in as soon as possible. Thanks.